Alright, so the live video has begun and let's check the time. It's 7. So yeah, Assalamu alaikum everybody. I am Asad Sultan Khan, also known as Mubashir. Hello Nasir. So nice to have you. Sir Zishan bhai, thank you so much for joining in. So here he is, the man of the hour, Mr. Mubashir Tareen. Thank you,
अस्सलाम
Zishan.
वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम, मुबशिर भाई कैसे हैं आप?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ठीक ठाक। असद आप सुनाओ कैसे हो? ठीक ठाक हो? लुकिंग गुड माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह।
Thank you so much.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
Same, likewise.
थैंक यू। व्हाट्स अप? व्हाट्स हैपनिंग? वी आर लाइव। हेलो एवरीवन। कैसे हैं आप सब? ठीक ठाक हैं?
Everybody's good, I guess. They're joining in.
ठीक है।
I just got done with my workout, and
नाइस नाइस
yeah,
नाइस।
so I was getting ready for this show. I was getting pumped. I was like, Mubashir Tareen movie fight,
क्या लगाया आज वर्कआउट में? व्हाट बॉडी पार्ट? व्हाट
chest and
बॉडी पार्ट?
triceps.
Chest and tricep. Cool, cool, cool. Better. It's good that you're working out. Mashallah, mashallah. I'm following you very regularly. I see that you work out. And one thing I would like to really appreciate, you wake up very early in the morning, which is number one thing which people are supposed to do. So good job with that. Good job, good job, good job.
Thank
और
you so
बताएं।
much, movie भाई. Means a lot. Everything's good. Everything's good. आप बताएं, how was the day? What's up? How's life going on?
Life is good. I am currently in my office right now. Just got done with couple of pending tasks. Office में आपको पता है अक्सर का backlog हो जाता है कामों का. So just got free with that. And we actually have an event right now. It's happening in Pindi, one of our branches, one of our actually projects. I'll get to that a little later कि किस चीज का event चल रहा है वो. So office जरा खाली खाली भी हुआ हुआ था. और I found मैंने कहा यार चलो ये अच्छा है बात है हम सेशन भी लगा लेंगे और ऑफिस से enjoy भी कर लेंगे और बस आपके सामने हाजिर हम लोग. The day was good, alhamdulillah, very productive, and I was looking forward to coming live with you, or I was looking forward to talk about all the things that we planned and we discussed early on. So ये सिलसिला.
Thank you so much, Mohammed bhai. Thank you so much for taking your time. You have
No
already a
problem at
busy
all.
schedule, and I'm more than ever grateful. So let's
No
begin.
problem.
Mohammed bhai, first of all, tell us, who is Mubashir Tareen?
Mm-hmm.
How did he become the Mubashir Tareen that he is right now?
Mm-hmm.
How that Mubashir, that kid, moved
Mm-hmm.
on. What happened during the way that this guy became Mubashir Tareen, and now he inspires
Mm-hmm.
so many people.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Mubashir Tareen. Mubashir Tareen is an economist. If we look from the educational perspective, but from a professional perspective, Mubashir Tareen is an innovator and he is a problem solver. What I like doing is that I like solving problems. I look at a problem and my mind instantly starts to spin and starts to work to figure out a solution for that problem. So this is where I see myself right now. This is what Mubashir Tareen is these days. Obviously, to reach over here, there was a big journey. और उस सब से गुजर के हम यहाँ पे पहुंचा हूँ और looking forward to the future as well कि आगे कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या experience करने का मौका मिलेगा. So, but if you talk about more specifically, so yeah, my full name is Mubashir Zaman Khan Tareen, and I was born in Saudi Arabia, and we moved to Pakistan back in 1996. Yeah. So ever since then, I've been living in Islamabad, and I've done my O levels, and then I did my A levels, and after that, I did my bachelor's in economics from NUS. And while I was doing my bachelor's, I had the opportunity to work in ISEC as well. I'm sure a lot of our users will be, a lot of our viewers will be familiar with ISEC. So I had the opportunity of working in ISEC. I worked in ISEC for about 5.5 years and got to learn a lot. And after I was done with ISEC, I joined Keep Truckin', which is a Google Ventures company. And I worked in Keep Truckin' for about 8-9 months. After Keep Truckin', I had the opportunity of working in Berlitz. In Berlitz, I spent relatively a short amount of time. I spent 2 to 3 months over there. And after Berlitz, I worked in the education sector in Pakistan Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development. And I worked there for about a year and a half. Now, currently, I'm working in Agency 21 International, which is the first ever real estate brand of Pakistan. I'm working here as their training manager and their coach. So it's my job to train different departments of Agency 21 when it comes to sales, administration, HR, coordination, management, finance, but most importantly, sales. And the thing I do generally over here is train them from a perspective of leadership. So I try to incorporate leadership in every element. Since that's because I have the experience of working in ISEC, and in ISEC we focus on leadership most of the time. So that's why I try to incorporate the element of leadership in every department's training. So this is what's happening in my life these days.
This is just amazing, Mobi bhai. The things you're doing, even during such an uncertain time, where people don't have an idea what to do,
Mm-hmm.
you're still hustling, and that is one of the beautiful things that I love about you.
Jazakallah, jazakallah, jazakallah.
All right. So my second question is, and it's it's
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the most important questions of the whole thing. Like the whole thing that
Mm-hmm.
I'm about health, I'm about mental health, I'm about physical health, I'm about
Mm-hmm.
making people better, inspire them to be a better version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And and this question revolves around it. So and that is, how do you keep yourself healthy?
Mm-hmm. So specifically, I'll talk about the mental health, right? So for mental health to be at its best, what worked for me is reducing the stress, reducing the anxiety. Since English is not our first language, I belong to a Urdu speaking family. So what usually happens is that हम अंग्रेजी कुछ अल्फाज सुनते हैं, और since it's our second language, at least for me it's a second language, so हम कोई अल्फाज सुनते हैं कहीं पे इस्तेमाल होता हुआ, हमें वो अल्फाज और या वो word अच्छा लगता है, and we start using it even at places where it's not supposed to be used. Okay? And sometimes what happens is that the word which is supposed to be used at a specific point, हम वहाँ पे वो word use नहीं करते. सही है. And sometimes हम लोगों को सही मतलब नहीं समझ आता किसी word का. Sometimes हम कोई गलत मतलब ले समझते हैं. So stress and anxiety, it's a very heavy. It's a heavy thing.
It's a very strong word.
Yes, it's a very strong word. हम normally कह देते हैं यार खाना नहीं आ रहा, एंजाइटी हो रही है, मुझे टेंशन हो रही है, स्ट्रेस हो रहा है यार, खाना नहीं आ रहा. ये छोटी मोटी चीजें, this doesn't create anxiety. If people truly know what anxiety is, they will say what I'm saying right now, because I with time, not initially but with time, I realized कि अच्छा यार वो जो दिन हुआ करते थे 10 साल पहले या 5 साल पहले, that वो टेंशन नहीं थी, ये टेंशन है. This is the real stress, the thing that makes your heart beat faster and faster, the thing that makes your blood pressure shoot
The
up.
adrenaline rush. The
Yes,
adrenaline rush.
exactly. So anxiety is something which I try to eliminate from my life as much as possible. For me, anxiety is caused by uncertainty. For example, if I know that I have this presentation, I have to give this presentation tomorrow, I'll be like, okay, so here's the topic. ABC is the topic. I know what the topic is. I know where I'm supposed to do it. I know the audience. I know the material. I know the atmosphere, the room. I will feel comfortable. There will be no stress at all. But let's say if somebody tells me that there's going to be a presentation that you have to do tomorrow, but we'll tell you tomorrow where you're supposed to go, or what the topic is going to be, or you will be presenting in front of. So that creates a little bit of uncertainty in my mind. And for me, personally, that results in anxiety. So what I usually do is that I try to remove all the uncertainty out of my mind. What I do in a scenario where somebody comes and says, all right, Mubashir, you have to present, you have to give this training to someone, we'll let you know about their profile later on. What I do is I'll tell them, कि भाई मुझे आप अभी बताएं who the person is, what the group is, where am I going to do this, and I would like to visit that place right now. I want to get myself familiarized with the environment, with the people, with where the screen is, where the remote is, where the projector is, where la 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 la. So this is what I do. And if they say कि यार हम ये आपके लिए अभी नहीं provide कर सकते, then I don't do the job. मैं कहता हूँ यार फिर आप किसी और से करवा लें. If you want it to be done right, you have to do what I'm asking you to do, because इसमें सबका भला है, मेरा भी और आपका भी. So what I do to keep my mental health in check, I eliminate uncertainty and anxiety out of my life.
That is just beautiful, Mohi bhai. And familiarizing yourself with the whole surrounding is very essential for the whole process, right? You
Yes.
just can't come into a place and be like, you cannot give you 100% unless you know the place inside out, right?
Exactly. So you might remember the event that you organized, Global Exchange Conference. So yeah, remember we did so many practices. We did practices for 2 days, and if you might remember what I was. मैं क्या कर रहा था? मैं बस स्टेज पे दाएं बाएं घूम रहा था, पीछे जा रहा हूँ, बाहर जा रहा हूँ, दाएं बाएं कंट्रोल रूम में जा रहा हूँ, पानी देखने जा रहा हूँ किधर है, रेस्ट रूम किधर है. I was getting familiar with the whole place, so that when the event is going on, when I'm hosting, and if there's any problem, if I have to call someone, I should know where that person is going to be. So this is something I do. So you're right that we need to get yourself familiarized with the environment.
So true, Moby Bhai. And you know what you just mentioned about GC, the Global Exchange Conference we hosted, with the Isaac in Islamabad at
Yeah,
University in September
yeah,
2019.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was one of the most beautiful, parts of my life. I can never ever forget, and I can never ever forget having you on board. If
MashaAllah.
you weren't there,
Exactly.
it could have been the job that we did. The execution would
Exactly.
have been flawless.
You guys
So
truly did an amazing job, and it was an honor for me to be a part of such an amazing event. So good job.
the honor is all mine, Moby Bhai. Thank you. All right. So my next question is, what is that one thing you wish you had known before you began your journey as an entrepreneur and as an economist and a leader?
Hmm. I wish I somebody had told me not to give up early. There were many opportunities, कुछ ideas थे, a lot of things that I went through in my life, and I gave up early, not because मुझे दिल से लग रहा था कि काम नहीं हो पाएगा या फिर I'm doing wrong, but because of दूसरे लोगों के कहने से. लोगों ने अपना opinion देना शुरू किया, and I was young. I took their opinion into consideration, and eventually that led to some derelation, यानी कि क्या कहते हैं, यानी कि derail हो जाना, पटरी से उतर जाना. So that resulted in that patri se utar jane wala incident. So if I would like to say something to the young entrepreneurs, I would like to say, I would tell them to trust their judgment, to trust their gut feelings, listen to the people's opinion, analyze it, evaluate it, and then act as your will. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for all the decisions you make. कोई और बंदे को आप responsible नहीं ठहरा सकते. This is not the mature thing to do. कि आप कहें ये गलती हो गई, ये बर्बाद हो गया, उसकी गलती है. No, no, no. You had the reins in your hand. You had control in your hand, and you made the decision. So it's you who are responsible to reach wherever you are right now. Don't blame anybody else. And don't blame किसी और के ऊपर आपने ये blame नहीं करना. So yeah, so trust your gut feelings. Do take opinions and their help in do take their opinions and evaluate it, analyze it, but do what your gut says you do.
That's so true, Moby bhai. And while you were mentioning, कि आप analyze करो की बात आती है, analyze your opinions and then finally base your opinions, base your judgment, कि, what's going to happen, what are you going to do. But the thing is, कि while you're evaluating and analyzing everything, people start
Mm-hmm.
to, overthink about it. And then they go into this cycle, vicious cycle चल पड़ता है. So I want you to crack this down. I want you to, let people, make them understand कि what's the difference between overthinking and what's the difference between analyzing.
ठीक है. So what मैं आपको अपने perspective सुनाऊंगा. I hope if people will be able to relate. Let me tell you about, there are many examples, but let me tell you about the career choice. Very important these days. People don't have all the information they can get to make a decision about their career. So when I was in O levels, I had biology as the subject. I wanted to be a doctor. Okay. So medical biology थी obviously O levels में, and I was very fascinated by the fact यार surgeons होते हैं, we have neurosurgeons, we have heart surgeons, right? And I found out that playing video games increases your hand-to-eye coordination, which helps you out during surgeries because surgeons have to have very steady hands. So मैंने गेमिंग करनी स्टार्ट की इसी जोश में कि यार आई वांट टू बी अ सर्जन एंड उसके लिए हैंड टू आई कोऑर्डिनेशन अच्छी होनी चाहिए. लेट्स स्टार्ट प्लेइंग गेम्स और आई स्टार्टेड एक्सेलिंग इन एनी गेम जो जिसमें हाथ यानी जो खेलने का मौका मिलता था विद दिस एम इन माइंड कि यार आई हैव टू बिकम अ डॉक्टर. बीच में किसी ने बोला यार एयरफोर्स में क्यों नहीं अप्लाई करते. मैंने कहा हाँ सोचा जा सकता है एयरफोर्स में यार सरगोदा में करो अप्लाई और बड़ा फायदा होता है जीडी पायलट और वो उनके फलाना फलाना. तो जहन में मैंने ये मैच डाल दिया कि यार मैं सरगोदा गया तो 5-6 साल बाद मैं जहाज लेके ही निकलूंगा वहां से. वो इमेज एक डाल दिया. ठीक है. विच वॉज नॉट द राइट इमेज. ठीक है. बहुत ही रेयरली लोग जी पायलट बन पाते हैं. देयर आर अदर ऑप्शंस दैट दे कैन गो फॉर. सो व्हाट दे डिड दे शोड मी दैट होप which they should have, but उन्होंने मुझे ये भी बताना चाहिए कि यार देखो do take this into consideration. Think about other options as well. because there is a chance that you might not become a pilot. There are other external factors involved. तुम्हारी eyesight weak हो गई, कुछ और चीज. So it's not. लेकिन मुझे ये hope दिलाई कि यार you'll be perfect and तुम्हारा कद भी लंबा है और ये फलाना तो apply है फिर pilot हो गया और सब सलामी देंगे और ये वो. तो वो एक अच्छा सा image मुझे दिखा दिया. The good side. They did not discuss the cons, the pros यानी कि strength यानी अच्छी चीजें दिखा दी. So फिर मैंने हो गया अच्छा ठीक है सरगोदा अप्लाई करते हैं एयरफोर्स उधर ध्यान लग गया. फिर आई केम टू नो अबाउट अनदर करियर अनदर कह लें कि आप field of studies which is called actuarial sciences. मेरे खालू उन्होंने मुझे बताया क्या मुबशिर there's a new field actuarial sciences. So actuarial sciences करने वाले लोग they deal with applied statistics, applied mathematics, probability. So that really fascinated me and that created a lot of interest in me. But then he showed me both sides. तो खालू कहते हैं अंसार खालू ही सेड के मुबशिर तुम फायदा का ये है बहुत जबरदस्त करियर है और इसकी दूसरी साइड ये कि इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट एंड यू विल हैव टू पुट इन अ लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट. तो फौरन मैंने वो चीजें एनालाइज की और फिर मैंने जहनी कैलकुलेट किया कि यार एक्चुअल साइंसेस यस साउंड्स वेरी गुड बट पाकिस्तान में शायद इसका स्कोप ना हो. I was able to make that informed decision because I was guided properly by my khalu. My khalu strictly told me, yes, there are good outcomes of this career, this profession, but there are some other things as well that you should into consideration. So this helped me in deciding that actual science, yes, it's a good, but since khalu also informed me about the other things that can go bad, potentially go bad, so I decided, yeah, let's not do actual sciences right now. Let's focus on something that is possible. Then A level में आए change from we actuarial sciences की जगह मैंने A level में आया business economics and math. Then economics का जहन में वो कह लो कि प्यार वो समा गया वो किया फिर बीच में economics से प्यार हो गया फिर I did my bachelor's in economics. While I was doing bachelor's in economics I was working in ISEC में मुझे business development और marketing का काम मैंने बहुत किया. उसके बाद फिर I stepped into leadership, then training, then coaching, then HR, then फलाना. So if I look at the things that went wrong, yes, I made a lot of switches. Okay? But if I look at the good side, I now have knowledge of pretty much all the portfolio, all the different kind of professions, right? So koi bhi masla ho, I'm good with accounts, I'm good with business, I'm good with economics. So ये एक process होता है. What I would recommend is now we are living in the digital era. We have all these sources from where we can collect all the information that we need to make career choices. So I would request everyone to put in a lot of time in deciding your career. Find out your strengths. Everybody has strengths. Einstein said, if I might not be able to quote the exact word, but he said that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree,
You just climb a, yeah.
it
It will spend its whole life thinking.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. So everybody is made for different things. Everybody is made for different stuff. So analyze, talk to people, go around, experiment. 1-2 साल experiment करने से कोई मसला नहीं होगा, ठीक है? This is better than wasting 5 or 6 or 7 years of your life later on. Take some time off. लोग क्या कहेंगे आपको? लोग कहते रहेंगे. लोगों का काम है कहना, लोगों के कहने पे नहीं जाना. Do what your heart says. Do what your heart says. Think from here. सोचें, एनालाइज करें. व्हाट आर योर स्ट्रेंथ्स, व्हाट यू लाइक डूइंग. मैं किस तरह अपने आप को ये चीज आंसर कर सकता हूँ. इफ आई लाइक वेकिंग अप इन द मॉर्निंग टू डू व्हाट आई एम अबाउट टू डू, if I like waking up, if I look forward to waking up in the morning, it means that I like what I'm doing. For example, I'm working in Agency 21. When I wake up in the morning, I'm happy. I'm looking forward. मैं जल्दी आता हूँ, ठीक है, देर तक रुकता हूँ, काम करते हैं और फिर काम करके पूरा काम करके जाते हैं. And even if it's Monday or Tuesday, it doesn't matter. अगर मंडे आते तो मुझे ये नहीं होता यार मंडे आ गया यार छुट्टियां चली गई, ओए यार एक और वीकेंड चला गया, पता ही नहीं चला. सो इस तरह के ख्यालात मेरे ज़हन में बिल्कुल भी नहीं आते. सही है. एंड आई होप कि इसी तरह ये चलता रहे फ्यूचर में. दिस इज व्हाट आई यूज एज एन इंडिकेटर वेदर आई एम doing the right thing or not. So I would recommend that you guys do the same as well.
Thank you, Mobi bhai, for detailing it out. Explicitly telling us what we can do, and what's the difference between overthinking and actually analyzing every single thing.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. Your journey. First of all, I would like to appreciate the courage you had. The courage to take so many switches, because people like nowadays, people, they don't have that kind of courage. They just take one step and they're just like, okay, now I'm stick to that. They don't have the courage to take the risk to go beyond all of that. So that's beautiful.
मेजर एक चीज मैं आपको यहाँ
Okay,
पे
so my
कट
next
करूंगा.
question is.
एक चीज मैं यहाँ पे आपने मेंशन किया, आई लाइक टू एड्रेस दैट अ लिटिल मोर. यू मेंशन कि यार हाँ बाकी लोगों में ना करेज, ये हाँ इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम कि पीपल डोंट हैव द करेज टू मेक दोस डिफिकल्ट डिसीजंस. लेकिन इसमें लोगों का भी कसूर नहीं है यार. हम वी आर लिविंग थ्रू टाइम्स वेयर आवर जनरेशन has been through so much कि the fear is kind of like built in their subconscious part of their mind. Why I'm saying that, because I've been through the same feeling. I know that it's scary when you think about switching. आपको लगता है कि यार घर वाले क्या कहेंगे, खाना वाले क्या कहेंगे, दोस्त यार क्या कहेंगे, और मैं किसी जॉब पे गया, if I tell them कि मैंने switch किया है, 5 साल कहीं और लगाया, now I'm working in a totally different department, तो वो क्या कहेंगे. So yes, Mejan, things require a lot of courage, but you just have to have faith in yourself, have faith in your abilities, and keep faith in Allah and just move forward. So that is what I would say.
Thank you, Mubhai. My next question is, what is your biggest failure in life, and what did you learn from it?
Many failures. ठीक है. सक्सेसेस भी मिली हैं ऑब्वियसली, बट फेलियर्स का ये गुड सीन है कि शुरू में हमें फेलियर से बहुत डर लगता था. वी वर टोल्ड कि यार फेलियर इज अ बैड वर्ड. और यकीन करो, अगर 5 साल पहले आप मुझसे पूछते कि, तो मैं कहता कोई फेलियर नहीं, आई हैव बीन सक्सेसफुल थ्रू आउट माय लाइफ, क्योंकि वो एक फियर होता है वो एक्सप्रेस करने का. ठीक है, बट ऑनेस्टली फेल्ड सो मेनी टाइम्स, हैड माशाल्लाह मेनी सक्सेसेस एज वेल, एंड माशाल्लाह हैड मेनी फेलियर्स एज वेल. सो अगेन वही बात कि फेलियर्स को हम उससे सीखते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं. एंड जब कोई बीमार होता है ना बंदा, तो उसका इलाज शुरू करने से उस बंदे को मानना पड़ता है, जो मरीज होता है, कि हाँ यार मुझे बुखार है, तभी वो डॉक्टर उसे दवा भी देता है बुखार की. अगर वो डॉक्टर के पास जाए, डॉक्टर कहे यार आपको बुखार है, नहीं बुखार नहीं मुझे, नहीं मैं बीमार ही नहीं हूँ. तो इफ somebody does not say कि हाँ उन्हें कोई मसला है, तो as long as जब तक वो कबूल करें तब तक उसको ट्रीट करना भी पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं ना. तो yes, the first thing would be to say yes,
Actually accept, there's something wrong.
Exactly. So I accept all the failures with all my heart, with open heart. So yes, there have been many failures. One thing that still burns my heart abhi tak, is din tak, wo ye कि I had an idea of a mobile app, ठीक है, and this was back in 2015. 2014 से मैंने वो आइडिया सोचना किया था. 2015 में मैंने उसका बेटा वर्जन बना के लॉन्च भी कर दिया, और लॉन्च से मतलब कि बेटा वर्जन रेडी हो गया था टेस्टिंग वगैरह के लिए. सो बहुत टाइम, बहुत एफर्ट के बाद मैंने एक बड़ा जबरदस्त आइडिया सोचा, और मैं लोगों के पास गया उन्हें दिखाने के लिए, पोटेंशियल इन्वेस्टर्स के पास, यार ये आइडिया है, दिस इज हाउ इट विल प्ले आउट, फलाना. आई ट्राइड टू पेंट देम अ पिक्चर ऑफ द फ्यूचर, बट दे सेड यार it's a good idea, but not a great idea. So you should think of something else. जब मुझे 5-6 तरह के responses मिले, then I started to lose faith in the idea myself. And after about like 13 or 14 months, जब मैंने काम करना छोड़ा, a bigger company, मैं उसका नाम नहीं लूंगा, तो ये बात है, a bigger company, much bigger company, it started that feature, implemented that feature. उन्होंने वो उनकी ऐप थी, उसमें वो फीचर ऐड किया, और वो जिस दिन मैंने देखा ना वो फीचर इन एक्शन, मेरा खून खौल गया. और मेरा दिल, मुझे याद है कि वो बहुत जोर से धड़का था, आई कुड नॉट स्लीप. और फिर मैं सोचा कि यार ये, मैं फिर वापस उन लोगों के पास गया, सबके पास नहीं लेकिन 2 के पास में, 5 लोगों को मैंने पिच किया था, लेकिन मैं 2 के पास दोबारा गया. मैं कहता देखिए जो मैंने आइडिया आपको बोला था, देखिए ये वही एग्जैक्ट आइडिया है, थोड़े बहुत चेंजेस के बाद एग्जैक्ट. कहते हैं कि हाँ यार ये आइडिया तो बहुत अच्छा है, और हाँ चलो कोई नहीं यार नेक्स्ट टाइम. और वो लोग हैं जिनके साथ मेरी रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन रहती है अभी भी, एंड दे स्टिल यूज दैट फीचर. तो जब वो फीचर यूज करते हैं उस ऐप का, तो मेरा खून खौलता है कि यार अब आप वो फीचर यूज कर रहे हो, जब मैं लेके आया था तब आप कह रहे थे कि यार ये क्या, ये तो ये खून मेरा अभी भी खौलता है, मेरा खून अभी तक खोलता है. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, Mubashir, do not quit. This is going to be a big idea. It still kills me from inside. So it was one of my failures. I consider as I'm responsible. I did not have faith in myself. I did not have faith in my capabilities and my mind. So I see that as a big failure because I missed out on a big opportunity. So yeah.
So missed opportunities basically.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mobi Bhai, now this is a very exciting question. I always, get excited whenever I'm asking this question for everybody. It's a very interesting question, very important question as well. It's a fun question, basically. So, if you had the time energy, and money to do anything in the world to keep yourself healthy, what would you do?
Time, energy, and money to keep myself healthy, physically and mentally.
Yeah, to do anything. You can do anything in the world to make yourself healthy. What is that one thing that you would do?
Okay, I'll open up a gym in my basement. A full flash gym
Whoa! Wait.
in my basement. ठीक
I've got a home gym
है?
in this room, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes,
So
yes,
I can feel
good
you.
job.
I can feel. I'm
Yeah,
so happy after that.
yes,
It's literally the biggest asset of my life right now. Like the biggest
I can
investment I did
understand.
ever.
I would agree. I would agree. It will not only help you physically, but it will help you over here as well.
So true. People think, gym and, physical fitness and, training
Hmm.
yourself every single day, being consistent, waking up on time,
Hmm.
going to bed at the same time,
Hmm.
exercising every day.
Hmm.
It's about,
Hmm.
building a body, a muscular body.
Yes.
No, that's
No.
like 10 to 20% of it. The
Yes.
80% of that is all mental. The thing
Exactly.
that you're building right here, it's all
Yes.
about that.
Very true. Very true. सब चीजें connected है, mind, body, and soul. But this thing controls everything. If you get a hold of this, you are golden. You are golden.
So true, so true. And
Hey,
just like,
खोले
it's
gym,
very simple.
gym खोले फिर.
I have calluses in my hands, right?
हाँ
So,
हाँ
and I
हाँ
believe in this, just like we callus our hands while we're building our body, we need to callus our
हाँ.
minds to, build a better life.
Yeah. Good example. I'll quote it. Inshallah next time. Good. Good.
Thank you, bhai.
हो
All
मैं कह रहा
right,
हूँ जिम
so,
जिम खोले पे मिलके हैं बेसमेंट में हो जाए सीन.
all right. So my next question is, who are the three people that have been the most influential to you in your life, and why?
So are we talking about someone who is in my life, part of my life currently, or somebody who could be like someone I look up to, like Steve Jobs and someone
Anybody,
like?
anybody, anybody.
Okay, so three people who have influenced me the most. Acha, I would like to mention over here that I will not say that influenced me the most, but I'm trying to study more about it and get inspired more. Hazur Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sunnat Hazur Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam की जो सुन्नत हैं, I'm trying my best to. I want to adopt all the जितने भी सुन्नती अमल हैं और तो you get my point, right? So I'm trying to reach that point. I want to adopt all the things from Hazur Pak's lifestyle. So that influenced me a lot. Or second thing I would say, second person would be in terms of like the real world, या the real world से मतलब ये कि the professional world. तो उसमें मैं कहूँगा जी Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs is
Hmm.
someone that I talk about regularly. You would know कि मैं कितनी बार एक बात करता Steve Jobs के बारे में. Steve Jobs was a person. He was a gem of a person. He was a brilliant mind, and people did not value him. As in, they didn't know, they didn't realize the kind of person he was. They didn't realize his potential, and it makes me sad that we lost the guy, such a brilliant guy. And आप कुछ अर्से पहले मुझे पता चला that his father is actually the क्या कहते हैं the real father, यानी कि जो the real father है वो
Biological
he's
father.
biological father. So he's actually Egyptian. His biological father is actually Muslim, I believe. He's from Egypt. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
मेरे मुझे हुआ कि यार अगर ये जिंदा होता तो कुछ पता नहीं इस्लाम कबूल कर लेता कुछ अर्से बाद, and he could have been a big source of inspiration for all the people all over the world. So yeah, so Hazur Park number one, ठीक है. Second place पे you say someone in the professional, so I would say Steve Jobs. Number third पे I would say this is tricky. Number third, I would say my dad. My dad. So I would say my dad. Abu say I could not spend a lot of time with my dad because I was 6 years old. I was, I think, 11 or 13 years old when my dad passed away. But I wish I had spent more time. But the time that I spent with him, उस वक्त इतना वो value feel नहीं होती. लेकिन when somebody आप चीज को खो देते हैं,
So
then we realize their value. So yes, so I think अब जो चीजें मुझे बता देते उस वक्त समझ नहीं आती थी कि यार अबू ये क्या चीज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माई लास्ट नेम इज तरीन, सही है, मुबशिर जमान खान तरीन. सो अबू हमेशा कहते थे कि यार जगह पे नाम लिखो तो मुबशिर तरीन जरूर लिखना. जमान खान लिखो अच्छी बात है लेकिन तरीन जरूर होना चाहिए. मुबशिर तरीन, ये दो वर्ड तुमने जरूर लिखने हैं. तो कहते यार क्यों तरीन लिखे, सब खान खान लिखते हैं, शाहरुख खान, आमिर खान, सलमान खान. तो याद है अबू फिर कहते बेटा जब बड़े हो गए ना तब पता चलेगा इस नाम की वैल्यू. तो वो मैंने बात बैठी है, so now I realize that Tareen is obviously a big cast, and it's a very it has been a very this cast has been a very big role. It played a big role in the history. So फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बात है, a lot of personalities belong to the same cast as well. So ये सारी चीजें जो कि अब मुझे realize होती है, because now I have the kind of mind to recall and try to understand things from my dad's perspective. So yeah, Hazur Park, Steve Jobs, and my dad.
That's beautiful, movie bhai. That's absolutely beautiful. My next question is, if you could step into my shoes right now, if you could come here, ऊपर आके ऐसा मेरी जगह पे, there's Mubashir Tareen, and नीचे भी Mubashir Tareen ही है. What are you gonna ask yourself that I didn't right now?
So many things. Yeah, I would say I've answered something, but you're asking me that what I would ask myself, right? I would ask myself, what is the biggest tip you can give me? Okay. And do you want
All
me to
right,
give
now
the
answer
biggest
that.
tip?
Yeah.
So the biggest tip I give to anyone, I have already said this before, but I will say it again because I want to put as much emphasis on this as much as possible. Yeah, trust your gut feeling. Trust your heart. Trust your gut feeling जो आपका ज़हन बता रहा होता है, जो आपकी gut feeling आपको कह रही होती है. It is the right way, the smart way most of the time. But due to external factors, somehow you up दाएं बाएं निकल जाते हैं. I'm such a big follower of my instincts, right now कि मैं चाहे कोई भी मामला हो, मैं किसी की भी नहीं सुनता if there is a conflict between what they are saying and between what my heart is saying. Zero compromise. No one. कोई मुझे आके कोई चीज बोले, मैं देखता हूँ कि भाई मेरी बेसिक गट इंस्टिंक्ट क्या कह रही है इस मामले में, और सुनता मैं सब क्यों, करता मैं अपनी हूँ. This is something I started doing यानी 5-6 साल पहले. I wish I could go back in time and ask myself, and I could give myself this idea, this hint or this tip. यार सुनो सबकी, करो अपनी, because at the end of the day, when you're going to bed with regrets in your mind, no one else is going to be there to support you. You are going to live with your thoughts. You are going to live with your regrets. No one else is going to help you out in that time, at that time. So सोचो यहाँ से, करो यहाँ से. ये मैं कहता हूँ, लोग कहते हैं वो क्या मतलब कि सोचो यहाँ से करो से, यानी दिल से सोचो, दिल कह रहा है वो करो, लेकिन जब what to do what the heart says. How to do it, वहां पे दिमाग लगाओ कि बेस्ट तरीके से we have to excellent तरीके से करना है. So मैं सबको इस तरह बोलते हैं भाई करो वो जो दिल कहता है, यानी जो दिल कह रहा है वो करो, कैसे करना है वो यहाँ से अच्छे तरीके से. So this is what I would say to myself if I'm asking myself about tips.
Because, at the end of the day, regrets, they are the biggest poison of our lives.
Yeah.
All right, Mobi bhai, what do you think about health and wellness in today's society? What do you think about, the society that we have right now in Pakistan? What do you think about how do people perceive health and wellness and how they should?
Mejan, I like the trend these days, the focus on mental health. I really like the fact that people are starting, even यानी लोगों के कहने से हमने भी जरा सोचना शुरू किया है. What I would like to say over here, सब लोग इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are already talking about it. What I would like to talk about is actionable things that which we are supposed to do to sort this issue, to solve this problem. मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं कहना ही चाह रहा हूँ कि यार ये तो depression, anxiety, stress, tension, all these things eventually result in your mental health issues, right? We are not talking about the causes of mental health on a grander scale. If we talk about education, the kind of stress a student goes through while they are doing their educational phase of their life, okay? If we talk about people who are doing jobs or businesses, we talk about mental health all the time, but we do not actively recognize and work on the causes of all those things, the stress and the anxiety caused by the work, the overload of work, or all these things. So yes, it's good that we are talking. It's good that we are talking about mental health these days all over the world. But we should also work on solving the problem, solving the removing the causes, यानी कि वो eliminating the causes. Let me tell you. Let me just sum it up. What I'm trying to say. I'm sure you're familiar with UNSDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So they have these 17 goals, and they
Yes.
specific point out the thing that you're supposed to do. They can measure it. They can point out कि यार ये चीज है which you are supposed to do in order to achieve goal number one. For example, goal number 4 is quality education. So there are steps, very detailed steps, which you can find out by going to their website. Very detailed. कि भाई ये 10 for example steps हैं, and they have sub tasks as well, sub categories as well. तो वो बहुत पिन पॉइंट करके उन्होंने पॉइंट आउट की चीजें कि ये चीजें आप करेंगे, then you will be successfully implementing or working towards fulfillment of quality education वाला goal. Similarly, there should be कुछ भी नाम दो, sustainable mental health goals, whatever name you guys want to come up with goals, actionable goals, which we need to work out as a society, as a nation, as humanity. Work those goals together, just like we're working on UNSDGs, and so that we could actively know and actively work on solving those problems. For example, the quality education की number 4, ठीक है? We can have the same kind of goals for this mental health वाला. कि जी, let's talk about work environment, क्योंकि work environment में काफी ज़्यादा anxiety and stress and इस तरह की situations आती हैं. So what I have noticed that, for example, uncertainty वाला element, it causes anxiety in my mind, right? So what I would recommend कि define up to reduce all sorts of uncertainty from our workspaces. उसका sub goal क्या होगा कि share the agenda of the next week in advance so that there are no surprises. Share the next month's current month and next month's to-do list and tasks and all that in advance so that there is no surprise moment. It can be broken down into subparts, and offices and there should be NGOs should be working actively on implementing these goals all over the world. The way we have NGOs working on sustainable development goals, we should have NGOs and organizations actively working on these goals. Workplaces, in schools, and we should create awareness for these goals. So this is, I think, an idea sort of that I had in mind. So I like the idea that we are talking about it, but we are not solving this problem actively. So I would like to get on to the solving wala part as soon as possible. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Mubashir, for telling us, and that's true because, जहाँ पे भी बात होती है mental health की, people talk about it, talk about the problem. Nobody's focusing on the solution. What actionable steps that you can take? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things you can do to actually help it, to actually help a person. And that's beautiful what you just, shed some light on. We need to stop thinking about the problem now. Maybe it's
Yes.
time to focus on the solution.
Yes.
Okay.
Hamad Sadiq just mentioned, yes, encourage labor union. I just saw this comments. I'm sorry. Maybe आंख पड़ी, so yeah, I would probably we should go back and look at some comments. Hamad Sadiq, yes, Maddie boy, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hamad Sadiq labor union. So yeah, that's something that we can have for professional world. So yeah, you were saying?
Moby bhai, one thing that we as Isaacers we very inspired, about that this whole concept, this whole idea that you incorporated into Isaac, and that is the matrix itself. How to be super productive, how to be just the main management and productivity. Tell us about that matrix, what it really is, how can everybody work upon that, and how does that work?
ठीक है. So the matrix, I would share the name of this matrix at the end because this is something that I came across a while back, काफी अरसे पहले इसके बारे में मुझे पता चला था, and this was something that worked out very well for me. So what you essentially do is that you have a matrix, a बिल्कुल easy सा एक कहने के चार्ट सा होता है that you have to make. But if you guys allow, I have the whiteboard over here. I would like to do it over here if that's okay. Just stay around for just a minute.
Please.
Let me set up the whiteboard. So just hold on.
What do you guys say? What does the audience say? Shall Moby bhai do it or not? I
क्या
think you should
कहने हैं सब?
just do it. People are right.
All right. So let me see if the projector is working. All right. So I hope you guys can see me right now. Let me check where the marker is. Da, 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 da. I had the marker over here.
So while
Just hold on
Mobile
for a
is
moment.
finding his market, let's talk about what it actually is. So matrix, basically this matrix is something that Mobile incorporated into Isaac, the whole network of Isaac Pakistan, and we be really proud of that. That is something that every single person listening to this right now can use to be better in terms of time management. Focus on what matters and do that. We all go through procrastination. We all go through overthinking. We all think. इतने सारे काम करने हैं अब क्या करें हाउ डू आई प्रायोरिटाइज एवरीथिंग मोबी भाई हैज द परफेक्ट सॉल्यूशन फॉर यू एंड ही इज जस्ट गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग राइट नाउ
All right. So the idea over here is to divide the task. I know मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ ना तो वो inverted शायद आ रहा होगा. So I think that might not be the best idea to write over here because it will be inverted. आप लोगों को समझ नहीं आएगा. So what we have to do is just बस एक चीज मैं draw कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे so that you guys know what we are essentially going to do. So this is a table. चार हिस्से हैं इसके, ठीक है? Kind of like a window. So keep this matrix, this window in mind while I explain the next phase. So होता ये है कि you have a task at your hand which you're supposed to do. Now you have to apply two kinds of filters for that task. You have to consider the urgency for the task, how urgent the task is. आपने फौरन करना है काम या it can wait a while, it can wait for some time. That's simple. ठीक है? So the first thing is urgency. You have to decide whether the task is urgent or it's not urgent. Second thing that you have to think about the task is the task important or it's not that important? Okay? What you guys can do is that you can Google it as well. Just Google something like task management matrix. And yeah, it's called the Eisenhower matrix, by the way. So you can write down the name and you can search it later on. Eisenhower matrix. You can search it, very simple. बस चार डब्बे बने होते हैं. So a task is either urgent or not urgent. Task is either important or not important. So जो task urgent भी हो और important भी हो, उनको फौरन से करें. जो आप टेबल आप बनाए अपने पास रफली, उसमें आप मेंशन करें कि यार ये टास्क अर्जेंट भी है, इंपॉर्टेंट भी है, उनको आपने फौरन से करना है. कूल कूल कूल, बेहतरीन. सो ये डू नाउ, आप लोग देखें डू नाउ लिखा रहा है. सो ये टास्क अर्जेंट भी है और इंपॉर्टेंट भी है. यू हैव टू डू इट नाउ. ऑन द राइट साइड ऑफ इट you will see a task which is important but not urgent. इंपॉर्टेंट है लेकिन फौरन नहीं करना. इसको आप स्केड्यूल कर सकते हो बाद के लिए. प्लान ऑन इट एंड डू इट सम अदर टाइम. स्केड्यूल कर लें कि इसको मैं कल इस पे सोचूंगा, परसों सोचूंगा, तरसों सोचूंगा. काम इंपॉर्टेंट है लेकिन अर्जेंट नहीं है. सो स्केड्यूल इट ऑन योर कैलेंडर. नाउ कमिंग बैक टू द फर्स्ट सेल, और उसके हम नीचे जाएंगे. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट टास्क जो कि अर्जेंट हैं लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. अर्जेंट है लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, फौरन से करने हैं लेकिन इतने इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. ठीक है? उस तरह के कामों को आप डेलीगेट कर दो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, नान लेके आने, खाना लगा हुआ है, ठीक है, खाना लगा हुआ है, नान लेके आने, खाना खाना है, ठीक है, नान लाने नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क, एनीवन कैन डू इट, लेकिन अर्जेंट है, खाना ठंडा हो जाएगा. ऐसा काम डेलीगेट कर दो. ठीक है?
दही भी लाना है,
दही भी लाना है, दही लाने का काम भी डेलीगेट कर दो. सो टास्क इज अर्जेंट लेकिन इट्स नॉट दैट इंपॉर्टेंट, एनीवन कैन डू इट. सो डेलीगेट इट. आप घर में कोई काम वाला है तो आप उसको कह दे, या कोई चौकीदार है उसे कहें कि यार आप जाके ले आए. ठीक है? बिकॉज डजंट नीड एनी स्पेशलिटी, एनी स्पेशलाइजेशन. सो डेलीगेट what is urgent but not important. Finally, the fourth category, something that is not urgent and something that is not important. ना ही अहम है और ना ही फौरन करना है. ऐसे काम को तो हम कहते हैं डिलीट, रिमूव इट from your life, या फिर बहुत ही इसको भी delegate कर सकते हो आप, इसे automate कर सकते हो, बस इसको आप अपने schedule से as soon as possible निकालो, कोशिश करो इसको ignore करो, something that's not important, not urgent, miss कराओ, ठीक है? So I hope I made it, tried to explain it very आसान तरीके से. I hope it made some sense. Still, if there's any confusion, feel free to Google the Eisenhower matrix, and you will be able to get the better idea about it. So ये सिलसिला है.
Thank you, Moby Bhai. By the way, at Isaac we call it the Moby Bhai matrix. You know, it's
Moby
the
Bhai
Moby
matrix,
Bhai
हाँ जी.
matrix. MBM.
जाकला. बेहतरीन.
All right. Moby Bhai, please tell us, where can our listeners connect with you online?
Okay. So listeners can obviously, Instagram is one of the platforms that we are active these days. So अच्छा हाँ, मैं अब दोबारा से मेरी आंखें अब चली जाती कमेंट्स के ऊपर. सो या वही भाई, लाइन मैनेजर को सब टास्क इंपॉर्टेंट और अर्जेंट लगते हैं, उसका क्या करें? उसके लिए एक और सेक्शन बनाएंगे, मैं आपको उसका नाम मैं यहाँ पे नहीं लूंगा, लेकिन उसके लिए एक और सेक्शन होता है, वो आपको बताऊंगा, उस पे उस टास्क को आप बताइएगा. So, all right. So, if people want to connect with me, Instagram is one platform. You can DM me. You can visit my website as well. My contact details are going to be there as well. mubashirtareen.com. You can try to contact me on Facebook as well, LinkedIn, Snapchat. जितने भी social networks हैं, तो वहाँ पे same username है @Mubashir Tareen. Exactly what I have over here on Instagram. So you can locate me on all of these platforms @Mubashir Tareen. And if you guys want, I can share my phone number as well. If you want to contact me directly, you can contact me. Asad, is that something that you would recommend I do over here?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So my cell number is 0300 555 7720. I will repeat it. 0300 555 7720. So in case you want to call me, so feel free to call me if you want. I'd like discussing ideas. I like if you have something you want to share, if you want to share an idea, you want to some help, some assistance, some coaching regarding some issue that you might be facing in your life, professional or personal, feel free to give me a call. I would be more than happy to help you out in any way I can. The reason is that I feel like the reason I am over here, the reason I'm यानी कह लो कि मैं जहाँ भी पहुँचा हूँ, it's because of my mentors, because of people I looked up to, people I asked assistance from, and they were always there to help me out. So I feel like I should play my part in the society for the greater good. So feel free to touch me, feel free to get in touch with me. And एक और चीज में ध्यान में आई थी, yes, so you can email me as well if you want. You can email me on info@mubashirtareen.com. So that's you can contact me on email as well, info@mubashirtareen.com. So yeah.
So, Moby Bhai, we know that, the kid Mubashir Zaman Khan Tareen became Moby Bhai the star boy. We know this really right here. यहाँ पे क्या चीज आ रही है? What's the third thing? Where will this Mubashir Tareen be in like 10, 20 years, 30 years? Just give us a picture of where you're gonna be, inshallah, or where you hope to be. What are you gonna do? What's that bigger plan? What is that?
Okay.
Just tell us about that.
The main plan, the alpha plan, if you remember, the one we talked about.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I do.
So what I have in my mind is that what I would like to do is by the time I die, I would like to have an organization in place, an organization fully operational, an organization that goes by the name of Alliance of Leaders and Professionals with the highest ambition. Alliance of Leaders and Professionals with the highest ambition. Abbreviation for that becomes Alpha, ALPHA. So what I want to establish Alpha. What will Alpha do? Alpha will bring in leaders who have the leadership capabilities but lack in resources. They have the mind, but they don't have the worldly smart people, but who lack resources. And then people who might not be that smart, but they are resourceful. So what I want to an alliance of all the leaders and professionals who have the same ambition, a higher ambition, higher than their own self, something that's higher than their personality and their personal life. people who to work for the greater good. Trust me, there are people who need resources and there are people who need ideas. They have resources, but they don't have ideas. They have ideas, but they don't have resources. And unfortunately, there is a big, big, big gap in between. What I want to bring these two together so that they can work on a higher ambition for the country, for the nation, for the society. This is my ultimate goal. I would like to see this organization in action at the end of my life.
All right. Thank you, Moby bhai. Tell us about this. What's that one thing that you would want to leave the
Mhm.
audience with?
I want to leave the audience with a lot of faith. I want to somehow get through this Instagram live. I want to get into your mind that element of faith, self confidence. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your ideas. Have faith in your uh, thoughts. Stress is enough. Please. आप जिंदगी दुनिया में अकेले आए हैं. You have to, obviously family होती है आपके साथ, but again you are responsible for yourself. At the end of the day, you cannot put the blame on somebody else. It's always going to be you जो कि जिम्मेदार होगा for all things that happen to you. So live the life the way you want to live. लोग क्या कहेंगे इसके ऊपर सोचने को सोचें आप. अच्छी बात है. It's good to understand other person's perspective, but don't get trapped in the क्या कहते हैं peer pressure, right? कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. There are hundreds of examples I can tell you right now, but I'm sure you guys must have heard a lot of them many times before in the past. Please listen to your heart. Do what your heart says and do it how your brain tells you to do it. Do it efficiently in an excellent way. So I would like to leave this idea in the mind of all the people who are listening, who will listen, or who have listened. Have faith in yourself, please. Have faith in yourself, because the last thing you want is to be on your deathbed, regretting the decision you took earlier in your life. It's a bad feeling. So this is what I would like to say to you. I hope you guys work towards it.
Thank you so much, Moby bhai. And just to wrap it all up, I once again want to thank you with all my heart, and I'm super grateful, super honored to have you here.
Jazakallah.
Moby bhai, you
Jazakallah.
have been its inspiration for me. The kind of things you've taught me, the kind of things that I've learned from you by just seeing you, by just observing you, by the kind of deep talks we've been having, the conversations we've been having over the past 1 year, the whole experience of Global Exchange Conference that we had, I don't have those many mentors in front of me. I don't have so many people that I look up to, but you're one of those people, and I cannot emphasize this enough. The kind of energy you have, the passion that you have, the love that you have for people, the kind of passion that you have for people to help them with every single thing, and the kind of time and energy you spend in that is just so inspiring that I just don't have words. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the people that have been, listening to us. We're very grateful for you guys. I hope this was worthy of your time. Mubashir bhai, thank you so much.
Jazakallah, thank you so much for having me over. It was a pleasure being on the show and wishing you best of luck. And again, I like the way you're living your life. Take care, mashallah. I see that you wake up early, you work hard, you take good care of your health, you're taking good care of your mental energy. Good job. I like your blog. I love your blog, and I follow you, and I regularly study the things that you post on all the social networks. So, Mejan, want to appreciate the things that you're doing and appreciate the initiative as well, because again, these are things that you need to talk more about. If you don't talk about it, then ये चीजें फिर गायब हो जाएंगी. So you are playing a key role in our society, and inshallah Allah तुम्हें सीधा दाए खैर भी देगा और तुम्हें माशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह कामयाबी भी देगा. Keep your head in the game, Mejan. Keep your head in the game. लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना, उनको तुम परे कराओ. Keep your head in the game. Keep moving forward. और अल्लाह उसका साथ देता है जो कि मेहनत करता है और अल्लाह पे भरोसा करता है. So keep on moving forward. Keep on making us proud. And again, thank you for having me over. Thank you for all the audience for attending the session. And inshallah, see you guys later on Inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Mobi bhai. And just to like finally wrap it up, एक वो जो guest को गुलदस्ता दिया जाता है. So here's my heart that I'm going to just like ये ले लें.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. ये मैंने रिसीव कर लिया. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jazakallah, 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 jazakallah.
चलिए, perfect. Thank you so much, Mobi. Thank you so much, Mobi. Allah Hafiz.
Take care. Allah Hafiz.